Hello everyone, I'm Matt, or Gum Mallow, the GM of our Twitch stream. Thank you for listening to this episode of Calturnia, our homebrew 5e campaign. We play live weekly on Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern over on Twitch, using Tailspire to provide high-quality visuals to go along with this adventure. Enjoy Episode 2, Water and Ice. Being friends would be nice. We are going to kick things right over to our first player of the evening. Sam, if you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Tam. I'll be playing Sam Savage, who is a Lightfoot halfling, and I will be working towards becoming a fighter / gunslinger.
Little halfling here, propped up on a set of books. Sam, you find yourself wandering the ice-covered streets of Snowmelt and hear the familiar and slightly annoying voice of Gur calling out, "Many goods, lots of pies, come get your things!" As they once again promote their wares.
Sam will walk over to Gur and see what's going on.
Hi, Sam. Are you here to help today? I have... And holds up a strange array of pies that seem very, very delicately balanced on the small kobold's arms.
Do you have anything, what kind of pies are those, Gur?
Oh, we mostly have apple today. And every day, but, this one has some other stuff in it. I think it's safe.
What? Sam literally just looks away, does the head down and to the side, oh god. What else is in it, Gur?
There was some stuff that Dendrick Frederick found, and he was out, and he was looking for ore, and he got lost in a cave. And I'm pretty sure it might be mushrooms, but it could be apples, it could be some other fruit. He's not really sure. He found it on the ground underneath the tree, but it'll be fine, so I figured it was safe to bake it in the pie,
So you found this under a tree?
Well, I didn't, but Dendrick Frederick didn't, and he's pretty safe. He's not going to let anything hurt me, so it should be fine if you brought it home for me, right? That makes it a gift, and that means I can make it a gift to others. But that means I have to charge a little extra, because I'm giving away a gift that somebody gifted to me. Or do I have to gift it now?
Sam literally just, does the, blue screen reset face, just... Oh, God. Did it look like a mushroom, or was it more of a small, clump, dense root?
Well, it was kind of root-shaped, but it was blue. But, everything's kind of that's blue, and Gur points to the fucking ground you're standing on.
Yes, Gur, I don't want to eat the ground.
It's not ground, it's, edible. I had a piece of it, and it tasted pretty good, but it did make me a little hyper, but I'm sure that's okay. This is going to be perfectly fine, right? It's going to be great with apples.
Oh, Sam, hearing Gur got hyper from is yes, I'd like some, as a gift, please.
Okay, one gift, I can give you one gift piece.
Deal.
Do you want a gift pie?
I'd be willing to help out around the shop in exchange for a gift pie so I can take it back to my folks.
Okay, I think I can manage that. I have some stuff we can do. I have some stuff that needs to be priced, but Dendrick keeps yelling at me. See, I sold this really, really kind of stupid-looking war axe, but he was really mad. I let it go for 5 silver, but he said it was supposed to be 12 platinum or something.
Garrett, why did you sell it for so cheaply then?
Well, it was kind of ugly and it didn't really shine and it just kind of sat there. And I didn't want to touch it. I didn't kind of tired of looking at it and it just wouldn't go away. So I got rid of it for monies. And look! And Gur holds up a handful of silver that is very shiny, but is definitely not the value of anything in this building.
Yeah, Sam kind of does the mental math of, oh, right, he cares more about shininess than quality. Remembering some horseshoes that they brought to Gur that didn't get top dollar because they weren't shiny, even though they're just horseshoes. Yes, I'd be willing to help out. I'm sure that Dendrick would appreciate it.
Okay, well, Frederick's out on another adventure for ore or wood, or I don't really know. I didn't really pay attention to what he was saying.
Yes.
But...
Yes. And Sam is like slowly like inching a plate forward to try to get a slice onto it before they start working.
Oh, right, you want food? Hang on. And fucking sprints to the back room and comes back with a really, really delicious looking pie. And
edibles aren't food.
Cuts out like a quarter of the pie as a slice for you.
That might be a little bit too much. If it made you this hyper, I don't think I should eat this much if I'm about to work.
No, it'll be fine. Think of all the work that will get done, and we can.
True. And like Sam's already like shoving it in their mouth, like just yep. Not gonna question anymore.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
So, what did you want to do first, Kurt? What did you want to do first?
Well, so we have to clean, we have to reset the fire, we have to pile up the ore, we have to sell some of the weapons, I need to make room for the new weapons, and we should probably have more pie.
Yep, more pie. And just like shoves in like another half of the slice.
Oh my god.
So,
where's the broom, Gur, where's the broom? You know what? Let's do the ore first, and then we can do the fire, and then like you see Sam kind of like trying to like tweak through the sentence structure, just like
yeah. So at a certain point, the two of you glaze over a little bit and just rote memory clean the shop. However, neither of you takes the time to get the proper utensils, so you're like kicking dirt out of the front door.
Yeah, just with our boots. Just like...
Yeah, just kind of like hand swiping the counter.
Come on, get.
And you're pretty sure that Gur threw a couple weapons out the door as just like they're in the way now.
Gur, no. And then Sam will like go out and like pick them up, dust them off, and then bring them back inside.
But why? They're going to take up space, and they're so... Look at it doesn't even shine. It's just... What do I know what to do with it? I can't sell that for money.
Do you have any grit paper?
Any what?
Grit paper. You know, like scratchy paper.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got some scratchy stuff. What kind of scratchy stuff?
Just something scratchy. I think I can make it shiny.
And Gur runs off, but the scratchiest thing he comes back with is... like a modified whetstone.
Okay.
And it is wrapped in like petrified tree bark in terms of its grit. It will definitely serve the purpose, but it's gonna fucking hurt to use.
Sam like looks down at it and then looks at their like kind of crummy mechanical arm that barely works, and it's like, all right, uses that one instead.
Yeah, so
just like does circular motions, trying to like get it to shine a little bit, and then like ask for an oilcloth to wipe it off.
So as you're working on it, Dendrick comes back to the shop, very politely is like, Sam.
Yeah. What?
Gur gave you the
just said the words. Yeah, it's really good.
Can I have the thing you're holding, please?
And like, I look down at it. Yeah.
And as you look down on it, one, it's covered in scratch marks.
Big surprise.
And two, you can see slight burning pock marks in your pants as the level of friction you have generated. Gur essentially gave you a fire striker. As Dendrick is just... is there anything you need? Do you need to do something to burn off this energy?
Yes. What? Anything.
Okay.
How can I help?
And just kind of like holds your head to get you to sit still for a second.
Yeah, I'm like literally trying to run laps around him.
There's a cart outside. It is packed full of timbers. I need them brought in carefully, preferably around the back.
All right. Sam like makes the exaggerated like slow walk, like just like slowly trying to walk out.
So even as you're like slowly trying to walk, You were definitely overthinking it and still like trotting along. It's like a light jog for you as you're like, I'm going slow. I'm being normal.
Going forward like 3 steps and then taking 2 steps back just to make it seem like I'm going slow.
And you hear Gur screaming, Frederick, I'm so glad you're back. We found so many things, and I got rid of a couple things, but that's okay, because Sam brought them back in, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. You don't mind that I got rid of a few things, right? It's going to be okay. They weren't very shiny, so I'm sure people wouldn't really pay much for them. And you just hear a in the familiar moment where Dendrick has just covered Gur's mouth with his hand to just be like, shh, just calm down, buddy. It's gonna be all right. I will go look at what you threw out.
Yeah, and so Sam is just like unloading the timber.
Yeah, so you spend the remainder of the day and steadily feel the effects of the pie wear off. Nothing horrible, but it is strange when you finally notice that level of speed that is no longer with you. As essentially what the pie does and the fruit that was found is double casts haste on you
Jesus.
when you eat it.
I love it.
So, with the passage of time, get your payment for the day, and Dendrick comes out and is like, well, I would offer... Gur said that you wanted the particular pie that you had, but I'm afraid that I have accidentally destroyed it maliciously.
Sam looks dejected, just like, oh.
I can offer you this, and hands you a small pie, a wrapped bundle underneath, and says, make sure you give that bundle to your mothers. They requested it special.
Okay. And so, yeah, I'll give a small nod to Frindrick, and head home.
Yes, so for reference, Dendrick's actual name is Dendrick Goldflow.
Okay.
Pretty much everyone in town calls him Dendrick Frendrick, much to his chagrin, because Gur will not stop saying. So, heading for home, it's a pretty easy stroll, but things seem awkwardly quiet in town. And the last time you encountered this, someone had attempted to steal from them. And as you're looking around trying to place, like, you know something is not right. You feel a tug at your arm. Hear the distinct click as your arm detaches.
Give it back! Give it back!
Now
And I just swing.
you're not going to be needing this.
I swing.
You're swinging the pie.
I'm swinging
and the
my
package.
fist. Yeah, no.
Okay. So you swing and connect on their side, but as the Goliath looks down at you, they're just like, I'm sorry?
You will be.
I don't think that's true, and they kind of push you backwards so that you fall over and trot away.
Help! Help! Anyone! I just start losing it.
You're close enough to home that your mom's come out. And Sam, are you okay? What happened?
A big man just stole my arm.
I told them there were going to be raids again, but Gur needs to stop just throwing things down the mountain. It's fine. Did they hurt you? Did they take anything else?
No, but I kind of broke the pie and dropped your package.
It's okay. The pie is... We can get another from Gur. I'm sure, like, too many again tomorrow. The package, though, and you see her pick it up and kind of dust it off and lift the leather wrapping, peeking inside without letting you see. Perhaps it's time we had a discussion. I know how restless you feel here, so we have a surprise for you. Come along home.
And I kind of like wipe the tears out of my eyes and follow.
Arriving home, it's a strange sight, strictly because while your family gets along, your two mothers have a regular meal with your father. Today is not that day, and yet there he sits, waiting.
Hi, Dad. Is something wrong?
No, Sam. I wanted to be here in case you decide what I think you're going to decide. And your mothers will not be dissuaded in their...
Sam just looks like from face to face, trying to figure out what's going on here.
Trying to piece together what's happening. Just, your moms and your dad all sit and look at you. You know that we've been having issues in town, obviously. I know it's been bothering you.
It has. I want to do something about it. I want to help.
I know, and we want you to be able to help. Now, because of that, we had Dendrick make you something special. And your father pulls out a pretty much replica in wood of the arm that you just had detached. And your father says, we have this for you, whichever way you decide. And forgive me for saying, but I hope that this is the one that you take. And both of your mothers sigh, and they're like, Sam is growing up. She wants to help. She can be of help. The leather-wrapped package. I had thought that we could have done this with a little flair and celebration, but she was attacked again.
And Sam's just looking, trying not to cry. What did I do something wrong?
No, dear, you didn't do anything wrong. We're just... Your father has reservation. Open your gift. Perhaps some sense.
So I'll take the package and open it.
As you unravel it, inside is an arm. Similar to the wooden one that your father currently holds, but very, very intricately crafted out of various metals, including a small amount of ice flow that you see set at the center.
Alexander, did you make this?
No, Dendrick made it.
I see.
At our request. And if you choose to venture, it's yours to ensure. Now, as with all tools, there is much more to this arm than just its function. Alexander steps over and starts to demonstrate how there is a small compartment just above the inner elbow that detaches, has a spot for 6 bullet bullets.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. And I'll sit down, and you see me take a pose. And if you look on the mantle, you'll see a picture of my dad in the same pose of a confident just arm around my mom, just kind of laid back, legs spread out a little bit. And I'll just sit there as they attach it, trying not to wince.
You hear a resigned sigh as your father puts aside the wooden arm and of your new getup, which, unlike the metal arms, goes on much more smoothly. And as you hold it, or as your family holds it, you see the ice flow begin to glow a tiny bit and hear a snap, although you don't feel anything.
I reflexively flex my fingers to see how it moves.
It moves, and unlike your previous hand where you only had your biggest and smallest knuckle, you have full articulation hand now.
Whoa. I try to do a curl with it, just go through the full range of motion, twist it around and around, see if it goes all the way around or if it stops like a human wrist.
So it takes you a minute at first because it does respond to your normal thought process.
Yeah.
And it's a very strange thing to be turn this all the way around.
Yeah. Maybe the brain doesn't even think my brain doesn't even think I can actually do that, so it doesn't. I don't know, but yeah.
Well, and you hit that certain point, and then you watch as it continues to spin as you're kind of distracted looking at other pieces. So you know you can do it.
Okay.
But it's definitely going to take some getting used to understand the actions, mostly mental.
Thank you so much. And not just big family hug.
Big family hug. Oh. So then your father looks down. He's like, if this is truly what you wish to do, at least allow me to accompany you to Lustra. There are people there that can train you and show you how to use weapons and how to protect yourself on the battlefield.
Really? Yes, please.
Very well. Then I suppose this is the beginning.
And Sam is just like staring at this arm, like trying to figure it out, just seeing how it fits, going through the full range of motions. And then as he says that, like, just shoots a finger gun out.
Finger gun.
You should eat more pie and then play with the arm.
And as you set out on the road, that brings us to our other friend. If you would like to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, we're friends now.
I mean, I'm talking about you as my friend as a player, but you are not yet meeting Sam Savage.
I didn't think so. That was a joke anyway. I know where friends come. Hi, everybody. My name is Steve, pronouns he, him, and I'll be portraying Johros, who is a Triton on the path to paladinhood. Excited to be here.
And on your path to paladinhood, you spend a lot of your time in the ocean, in the surrounding areas of your hometown. And Kilmarnock is beautiful, but it will never have anything to compare to the open water. You frequently make ventures to trade with folks in town, but something about disconnecting from the water seems uncomfortable. Until one evening, you feel a strange pull at the back of your head. A nagging voice as a woman whispers, "You're needed. Bring them to the water."
Bring what to the water? What is this? Who are you? I'm trying to sleep.
And you get a flashing vision of a tabaxi that's drowning.
Oh, wow. Filled with a sudden urgency, Joros will spring awake and just start swimming up towards the surface of the water.
Towards the surface of the water. Springing from bed and shifting your way through the waves, you can easily make out a tabaxi form floating, if that is the appropriate word, as a riptide sets in.
Drowning would be the appropriate word.
I mean, yeah. They are still head above water at the moment, but it does not appear that that is going to last long.
I will swim over as fast as I can, and just sort of like with one arm outstretched swimming, I'll use my other arm to grab them around the torso and just start swimming as, sort of with the riptide towards the shore.
Okay. So as you make your way along, you are able to very quickly get out to the tabaxi and start to swim in with them. As you move, you notice that they are trailing a steady line of blood. And the voice speaks again. I cannot help you here, but make it to the quay. Find the inner lake, and I can assist you.
The key?
The key.
Certainly, voice I've never heard before. Let me drag the bloody tabaxi wherever you so choose.
And you've heard of people having religious moments, but this is a strange experience for you.
Yeah.
As you bring the tabaxi along, you see grievous markings as they are pretty heavily cut up and have some rather large stab wounds. It appears that this person was not intended and was not drifting or drowning on their own.
Looks like the beasties of the water didn't get you, friend. Do they answer? Do they talk?
No?
What a shocker. Okay.
What a shocker.
I will sort of like hoist their bloody tabaxi body over my shoulder once we make it to the shore and just start like doing what the voice says. Johros isn't sure if this is a dream or not. It's very, very weird.
That's
for
fair.
him. He's like looking around. What time is this? Like nighttime?
It is like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, so people aren't about on the beaches or anything.
No. As you hit shore, you're very easily able to pick this person up, and you see a small trail of water running against how gravity should pull it. And you know that in that direction there is a small mountain grove with a lake set in the center.
Johros will sort of just be looking around and just look down at the trail of water holding this bloody tabaxi and shrug and just start following it.
Okay. And looking around, you can see there are some people that are almost highlighted against the midnight sky, about 2 miles downshore. Quite the large group of them. And shrug it off as you continue carrying the tabaxi, finally making your way after about a half hour's march. The voice prodding you the whole time. You can do this, just get her there safely.
Do you mind telling me who you are and why I'm doing this and why you can't help?
It is not often that we are allowed to directly interfere in the lives of others. Your connection to the water means something.
Perhaps. There are many other Triton, you know.
There are, but many Triton prefer the sea, prefer the salt water and waves. You seem different. And you make your way through, reaching this small, and it is quite small, as the water trickles up and refills the lake to its original height. The voice says, "If you please, just place a hand on her brow."
Still skeptical, Johros will do this, raising an eyebrow himself.
And you feel a hand on your shoulder as you place yours on the tabaxi's forehead.
His head swivels back to see if anyone's there.
You see nothing, but you feel home. You feel an intense sense of warmth, blood from that spot, easily identifiable as 5 fingertips just set on your shoulder. And like electricity, it races through you, pushing into the tabaxi, and you watch the wounds start to close. I knew you could do this. I know you can do so much more. What say you?
I suppose destiny has a course for me after all. Who are you?
Many call me Zalara, and rivers and mountains are where I make my home.
Johros will like get down on his knees and like bow his head.
And as you do, you see a shift in the branches and a small splash of water that almost form a humanoid outline. If you're looking at it like, not quite an optical illusion, but if you're looking at the blank space between.
Right. Of
And
course.
the voice says, I promise to guide you to honorable things and to do great deeds. What is it you would ask of me, if anything?
I ask not for the road to be easy, but to have the strength to walk it and to swim upstream against any tide or any current.
Then strength you shall have, both in yourself and in others, and you see a flash of yourself surrounded by 5 friends. An odd image because you don't recognize anyone, but comforting because you know that they're there and waiting for you. Do what you must. Gather your belongings, get what you need. Seek them in Lustra. It is a few days' travel, but I don't believe you'll be on the road alone.
I don't know them. I don't know very well. Great lady of the rivers and mountains, why did you not reveal yourself to me when the Tabaxi was first in danger?
Why, I have not revealed myself to any this day, for that would be a grave sin against Kaisa's wishes.
I see. I don't understand, but I see.
I trust that you do, and that is why I believe you will make a fine paladin.
What? Oh, me. Yes, I will do all that I can. Is the Tabaxi still there? Am I still on this, vision quest moment?
The Tabaxi is still there, and as the voice fades, she sits up and looks at you, and she said, "So this is that day. I thought it might be. Can you tell me, where are my arms and armor?"
Friend, you were lost to the tides. You're lucky to be alive. I know not where your belongings are. Perhaps caught in the riptide or at the bottom of the ocean, even, at this point.
The tides indeed, though I fear that my path into them was quite unnatural.
Do you remember what happened?
Have you seen others?
A group by the shore as I was marching you up the mountain pass.
And how far? How long would it take me to get to them?
It took about half hour's time to get you here. It would be quicker if you run. And maybe if you're not carrying a tabaxi on your shoulder.
Perhaps. Tell me, friend, where is this place?
We are in Kilmarnock, and this is the Mountain Key, or K, if you say it that way. It seems the waters here have a healing property.
Ah, I see that you have met my mistress, then.
The voice that I heard, that was from...
Yes, I see you have spoken with Zalara.
She spoke to me, and I had questions that many are still unanswered, including who you are.
Well, perhaps that is something I can alleviate for you. My name is Tezka, and I am in service to Zalara as one of her paladins. I have been pursued and pursuing the Black Powder Bravos. Do you know of them?
What I have heard of them?
They are like a childhood rumor of scary people.
The scary story they tell us, tell little tritons at night so they can not swim off in the evening?
Perhaps something like that, but I assure you they are quite real. And Jonathan has been most distasteful, as it appears he threw me into the ocean rather than honor his word of parley.
And parley is a serious offense. What were you doing aboard their ship? We should go after them. Those are the ones at the shoreline, I assume.
Indeed they are, though I fear the time is not quite right for you.
Johros looks down. He's just in, his pajamas, basically.
Yeah, and she is not much better off. Tezka is clad in pretty cut up, undergarb, or what would be full plate armor.
Right. Johros is just wearing some cloth rags, basically. Well, how are you feeling, by the way?
quite hale and hearty, I believe. I feel brand new, if that is the correct sentiment, or recovering from death.
Death? Huh. Unlikely. The healing waters. I know not of them bringing anyone back from the dead.
Perhaps, but you never know what you're capable of when you are a true believer with a god at their side.
I suppose so. Well, Teska, if you believe the time is not right to pursue the offenders, then I shall agree with you.
Oh, my time is right indeed. But you, Johros, you have a job to do and someplace to be, and friends that await you.
So you know about that as well? Okay, great.
She also knows your name, even though you have not introduced yourself.
Yes, I don't believe I introduced myself to you. I am Johros, Jelanath.
I don't believe you have either, but we have a mutual friend, and she takes great care to provide me with the information I require.
Must be nice.
It is, and it isn't. Being a chosen has its downsides, you might say, as sometimes you end up quite salty and adrift in your own sea.
Or the literal sea in your case.
Yes, yes. Now, may I help you to get anywhere? Are you safe to return to your home? You are awake, are you not?
I believe that I am. I believe all of this is real, as unusual as it seems. I need to head home and gather my things, I suppose. Say my goodbyes, I suppose. Zalara didn't exactly convey the most information, but I must get to Lustra. That I do know.
Lustra indeed. Find the friends she has set on a path for you. And take this. And she hands you a small emblem of a mountain split by a river. Carry this, and all will know that you walk by the river goddess's side.
Is it like a pendant or like an amulet or?
Yeah, pretty much. It is a religious symbol.
Oh, okay.
So it could be hung, it could be patched onto clothing.
If it's any sort of wearable now, Joros will wear it like an amulet.
Okay. Yeah, so you are able to string it on, and you can hear it give off a light crash of wave as it sets against your chest. And Teska looks at you and is like, yes, a fine friend you will be.
Verily, as paladins say. Well, I suppose we'll meet again, then?
Of course, I'm sure our paths will cross once more. And you hear her give out a whistle as a steed steps out from the lake, and she sets herself astride. Luck to you, friend. May your road be one of valor and challenge.
And may you travel safely.
And she heads off, leaving you in the moment, alone in this clearing. And you can head for home, you can take a moment and pray. What would you like to do?
Joros is just gonna find like the nearest rock to sit down on and just start like slapping himself, pinching himself just to make sure. What is going on? Okay. Alright. Chosen by the goddess. Going to Lustra. He's like counting on his like webbed fingers. Gather my things. Don't fight the bastards at shore. Okay. Alright. I think I can do this. And he will touch his do holy symbol and utter a quick prayer to Zalara. Please guide me on this quest that you have set me on.
And the symbol glows ever so slightly. You head out from Kilmarnock and find yourself waiting for this friend you were told was going to be joining you on the road. And Sam, you and your dad are traveling together as continually expresses like, I just want to make sure that you're safe. You know,
Dad, I'm gonna be safe. I know this is a big change for you, and I think I have one more change I'd like to ask if you don't mind.
Of course.
Could you refer to me as they, them? I'm still your kid, but I just don't know that I feel like a girl.
That's perfectly fine. And you watch as he like stumbles over Darling, not sure if it's okay. And he's like, "You'll always be our precious little one, no matter."
And I just give him a big ass hug.
You mean a tiny ass hug because you're a half.
You shush. You shush.
You give him a half a hug.
The GM is railroading me.
Into being short.
Oh no, let's say it was very short. But yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't be short with you next time.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
We're out.
Nothing but puns from here on out. Hope you're ready.
Oh boy.
So Sam, as you and your father are traveling, he gives you little bits of information about how to defend yourself and keeps referencing the arm and says, you know, your mother's had it commissioned and he oversaw its design personally. When you're ready, your mother wasn't as obvious as I would have preferred, but there is much to be found in that arm besides just its technical skill. There's also one more thing I would like to give you. It's not quite finished. I couldn't find all of the pieces. I hope you'll take it nonetheless. And he holds out a small wooden, it's not small, a like 4x4 redwood box.
Where have you been hiding this?
And he has he pulls aside a small pouch. He's like,
"Oh, the bag of holding. Okay,
it only fits this, I'm afraid."
Sam like just holds up the pouch and puts the box in, pulls the box out. Like, that is incredible. What should I open this now or?
Yes, take a look. I would like to show you what I know.
Yeah, so Sam will like undo the latches and use the flesh arm underneath to hold it and use the mechanical arm to open it.
And as you open it, you see several different handles and barrels to a small pepper box.
Sam's eyes just go huge at this and is just like, wow, this must have cost a lot.
I'll not lie, the box is worth more than what's in it to most people. Some of these were parts from my pepper box, and some I've scavenged from things Dendrick has attempted to repair or that Gur has thrown out. I don't know why that kobold is nothing but trouble.
They're very annoying but mean well.
They do mean well, and that's the best we can ask for, right?
Yes, we should strive to accept people as they are and not what we want them to be. That's what you always taught me.
Fair point. What a day to be reminded by my own child. Now, there are a few things missing. There's no hammer or firing pins. It's something that has to be delicately crafted to fit the gun, and I don't have that skill.
And Sam just nods, like blinking back tears a little bit.
I'm hoping that it's something that you can do, or that you can find someone to assist you with. But if you ever use this, please take the utmost of care. These are dangerous weapons, and even the untrained can do vast amounts of harm if not careful.
I know. Always make sure to keep your finger off the trigger until you're ready to shoot. Don't point it at anything unless you're ready to destroy it or lose it. Be mindful of what's behind your target.
Excellent. You remembered well. And as you're having this discussion, Johros, you see a familiar in memory only halfling standing with a slightly taller man, getting instructions over a rather large box for the two of them to be carrying.
Short, aren't they? Well, do I recognize?
You recognize the smaller of the two as one of your friends in the vision that you were shown by Zalara.
All right. So I suppose I will just interrupt them. Excuse me!
And Sam, like, almost drops the box, like, oh, shit! Oh, sorry, Dad. I didn't mean to swear, Dad. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Hello, friend. How are you this
Greetings.
day?
I am quite well, little one.
Dad, what is that?
That's a Triton, young one.
Oh. Hello. My name's Sam.
Hello, I am Johros Jelanath. And,
Johros. Johros. Okay.
George Joestar.
Oh my God. Yes, say my name like your mouth is full of salt water. But that's not important.
That doesn't sound pleasant, but okay.
Well, it is if you can breathe salt water. Listen!
Yes, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to interrupt whatever you two are doing with whatever that is.
Yes, Sam has already, like, slammed it shut as soon as you came over.
Box is taller than you.
Yeah. And?
Well,
What about it?
nothing.
You trying to say something?
No, I'm trying to say
Don't start no shit. Don't start no shit. There won't be no shit.
You're going to Lustra, right?
Sam just gets real quiet and real still.
Yes, we are. Is that your destination as well?
Yes, it just so happens to be. He'll show his holy symbol. I'm on some business there for the Lady of the River and the Mountains.
There's a lady in the river in the mountains?
Only sometimes, Sam. Only sometimes. Just, if they ever offer you a sword, say no. It leads to nothing but trouble.
Why would
Yes,
you
I can imagine Garrett getting into trouble with a sword from the water.
say no to the sword? Johros will just kind of like raise an eyebrow.
It's a long story, but just because they give you a sword does not put you in charge of anything.
It does
Do
not make you an
believe
authority.
Their lies.
Well, put the holy symbol away. Well, I happen to be going to Lustra. And I couldn't help but notice you're heading that way. I was wondering if we could travel together.
Yes, of course. Are
Strength.
you a member of the guild?
No. What guild is that?
You seek Lustra for training then.
No. No. Oh, did you say trading or training? I'm sorry.
Training.
Yes.
Training.
Training,
Man, I
yes.
think he has salt water in his ear still.
You'll see it like bang the side of his head.
It happens.
A ton of water comes out. Like
Sam laughs like full-heartedly, doubles over.
more water than you'd expect comes out. Happens more often than you'd think. But yes, for training and for pilgrimage, I suppose.
I'm sorry. If this is rude, you can tell me. How long can you stay out of water?
Oh, as long as I feel like it, I suppose.
That's neat. So
Yes.
wait. So what? You said a pilgrimage, right?
Of a sort. Bit new to the pilgrimage business, I will admit. But I seek challenge, training. And I know I'm supposed to go to Lustra.
What kind of challenges do you like?
He'll Johros will sort of almost condescendingly like squat down to look at Sam to get eye level. Contests of athleticism, of course.
This sounds like fun.
Yes. Well, yes. I find them quite enjoyable anyway. Oh, how rude of me. I didn't even ask your names. I am Johros Jalanath.
I'm Sam. Sam Savage.
A powerful name.
Thank you.
And you are, sir?
And he reaches out to shake your hand and introduces himself as Samuel Savage.
Yeah,
You see the namesake.
and then
do.
Sam will reach out the mechanical hand to shake your hand.
Girls will give a hearty, wet handshake to Sam Sr. And then,
Samuel Senior.
curiously, put fin to chin to take a look at this mysterious metal contraption. My. That's quite an arm you've got there.
Yeah, it was built for me. I had lost my other one in an accident.
Samuel cuts you off mid-sentence. We don't need to talk about that.
Simply marveling at the handiwork.
No, I appreciate. It's more that Sam doesn't need to recall the reasons. The arm is here, and life is the shape that it is in this moment.
Sam just nods, like,
Like a river through the mountains.
Indeed, the path is carved, and the river is set.
We'll kind of like fist pump that he is doing it right so far. Yes, exactly like that. Yes. Well, I see no reason why we need to stop here. We can walk and talk, right?
of course.
Certainly. If you'll just, please, Sam. And he holds open the pouch.
And Sam will put the box back in.
Marvelous. Quite an assortment of odds and ends you've got there, friend.
Yes, well, you never want to be caught unprepared, right?
Indeed. We're from Snowmelt. Where are you from?
I am from, well, Philmonarch would be the closest place, but the waters under there, I suppose. A Triton community.
I see.
I come from the sea.
I do come from the sea.
And as you make your way about, you find the road rather easy until evening comes and you find yourself approaching a caravansary.
A what?
A
Caravansary. It's what merchants travel in, and it's a place for them to stop.
Oh. Not a caravan?
No, the caravan is the
Vehicle.
thing where, the vehicles that people travel in. The caravancy is kind of like a shared campground, I guess, for security.
Never heard of it. Interesting. You land dwellers are so funny.
And
Yeah, I guess so.
a well-dressed man steps out onto the path and says, "Good evening. My name is Erickson. Are you interested in staying?"
And Sam will look up at their dad. Yes.
Yes, please. Very good. I should warn you, we have had an issue. Someone is spreading rumors that it is free to stay here. That is not normally the case. However, I believe a certain someone has made off with our cash stores.
What do they look like?
A robbery?
They're a young man, moppish black hair, and quite visible scar on their cheek. It's not the first time they've caused issues here, but you see, they robbed and tricked a pair of tiefling sisters, and it appears that while we were investigating that issue, they made their way into the coffers, and here's my unseen servant was not as useful as they might have been otherwise.
Can you describe the thieves?
I believe the young man was the thief, but
Yes, the thief. I'm sorry.
yes, early to late, I guess mid to late 20s, quite dark hair.
Were they human?
A human, yes.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
And he has a quite noticeable scar, and he draws a line from like the middle of his left eye all the way down to like underneath his chin. It's not the first time that he's been caught, and he does attract a certain amount of attention, but it appears this time he's gone quite far and stolen over 50 gold from us.
Does he have a name?
It depends on the day, supposedly. He has been Jared and Jacob and Corey and Carlisle.
You need Jingleheimer Smiths?
Yes, essentially.
Okay.
Well, I'll need one more piece of information.
Hey, what does this gentleman look like in front of us?
So the person in front of you is odd to stare at. As they stand there, they are set in a very, very fancy suit and act as though they have a hat on, and you can see the pressed lines in their hair where a hat would be. And as you look, their left ear shifts ever so slightly from human to elven to hobgoblin, and even their skin slightly changes hues.
Dad, are you seeing this?
Yes, dear. I'm sorry, sir. Have you been exposed to the magic? And Erickson is like, yes, I suppose you could say that. I do dabble myself, and that does lead to some strange occurrences at times, but it's quite fine.
As long as you're okay. I was just making sure that you were fine. That's one of the symptoms, and Sam kind of gets a little bit awkward at having pointed this out and realizes, that's probably a bit rude.
I'm sure it's not the strangest things we'll see on our little trip to where we're going. But friend, Erickson, I do have one question for you. One important piece of information.
I perhaps might have an answer for you.
To help you find this person, could you describe your unseen servant?
Well, they are unseen and invisible, so...
He'll clap him on the shoulder and just say, I'm joking, friend, I'm joking.
Understood.
Please, if you could show us around, I would greatly appreciate it.
And he does lead you around the encampment. It is pretty impressive, the setup that they have going, and you can see a cleric and a couple of guards moving around and kind of not actively searching, but giving a good once-over of every camp to see if they can find this questionable youth.
Jingleheimer Smith?
Yes.
The rascal.
Oh, Schmidt? Is it Jingleheimer Schmidt?
Jingleheimer
Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yes, his name is my name too.
I thought you said your name was Johros.
It is Johros, Chalanath,
Gub and I were both there, just like ready. Is there anywhere to use the restroom? Or is it just find a tree?
No, certainly. We have, and he points over to a small collection of like 3-foot by 3-foot buildings. Just please go relieve yourself and be sure to press the button when you are completed.
Oh, okay. And Sam will go in and just like sit down and pop off the arm and just use their other hand to kind of like look at it and just see more about it, because with their dad there is like, I don't know how much I like want to look at this and be like, oh, is there any, but like, just looking for anything that might be wrong with it or weird about it besides the obvious. I know that I know the compartment that holds 6 bullets.
Yep.
And I'm just, poking around at it.
Taking a very brief poke around so that you're not sending a extensive amount of time in the restroom. Underneath a wire wrapping that goes around the wrist, you see an engraving that says, "Be safe, dear one."
And Sam will kind of just give a small smile and reattach it, make sure everything's working right, and then push the button and walk out.
So, as you push the button,
A horn goes off to announce that I've done my business. I hate this place. I don't like this at all.
I mean, I should add that now, but
No. God.
congratulations.
Please insert
Gotta have that
one
sound in
copper to
somewhere.
flesh.
Oh my god.
No, as you push the button, you feel a familiar tingle of magic as you and the entire inside of this facility are prestidigitated clean.
Oh, does it give me a scent? Do I smell like lavender afterwards?
You smell like nothing.
New carriage smell. You get to
Smell like
choose.
fresh leather.
There's like 3 buttons: fresh leather, new carriage, just vanilla. Yeah, so I'll walk out and join up again. I don't know if anything happened while I was gone for the 2 minutes, but you know.
Yeah, so Johros, as Sam excuses himself to use the restroom, you are left with Samuel and Erickson.
Well, Johros will ask, so, what's a Triton gotta do to get a drink around here? Sam, would you like to join me? Or Samuel, excuse me.
I could wet my whistle. And Erickson is like, well, we don't have any proper drinking facilities, but I'm sure you'll find a number of... And you just hear a rousing, hey! from like 3 trailers over as what is clearly a merchant group are drinking with their guards for what seems to be the last leg of their trip.
Well, I know where we're going to go. Oh, is your progeny, your child, old enough to,
Imbibe?
imbibe, drink?
Sam is 25, yes.
Wouldn't be their first time.
Hard to tell with the halflings.
Actually,
It usually is.
y'all look over and you see Sam coming out of the restroom and then not coming back to y'all, just heading up to the
Well, that answers that question. Come now. Good place to ask some questions of people, see if they know anything.
You join a group led by a dwarven merchant and oddly traveling with 4 elven guards. What strikes as odd is not the companionship, but all of the guards, although drinking, seem very somber and focused, and it is your realization that it is the dwarf merchant, through creative use of thaumaturgy, that is making all of the noise himself.
Johros will ask in Elven, what seems to be going on here? Thought it was a party.
Oh, it is a party! How can I help you, my fishy friend?
They'll switch back to the common tongue. Well, I was looking to wet my whistle and perhaps join you, me and my friends here, and simply enjoy the night before we set off.
Excellent, excellent. Perhaps you'll be better company than... And the dwarf gestures to all of the guards. The unspoken make wonderful servants and guards, but be damned to get a word out of them ever.
Sam is already digging through the stash looking for some good stuff.
You did just call them the unspoken, so...
Well, yes, but someone has to break the rules one day.
Wouldn't that stop them from being the unspoken? What are the unspoken? Who are they? Who are you, my friend? I am Johros Jalanath.
As he says that,
Yes,
Sam,
yes, I am London Cragsunder, the finest merchant you'll find this side of anywhere. And he
trouble
does
with
like a
Sam.
little prestidigitation firework above his own head.
There's a small trumpet play.
Sam just rolls her eyes and pulls out a bottle of whiskey. She just starts pouring into a mug that they get off their belt, and then walks over with it to their dad and Johros.
Now, what are you in the market for? You look like a man with needs. What do you need to buy? I'm certain I have it or can get my hands on it.
Well, pint of ale to start would be good, and I actually just had some questions, as a matter of fact.
Ah, information, and he thumbs the side of his nose. A cost in and of itself. I'll tell you what. I'm feeling luxurious this evening.
Should I be worried?
And,
luxurious means that they're feeling generous usually.
No, I know what it means. This person's just strange.
he
You come from the water. I guess this is strange, yes?
He rolls up his sleeves and says, I'll tell you what. For every clean blow you land, you get to ask a question. For every clean blow I land, I get to ask a question. And at the end, we drink.
Oh! Johros will, rip off, whatever shirt or armor he's wearing and say, now this is my kind of place. No magic, though, dear friend.
I see. You drive a hard bargain and
drive a fair
in the stomach.
Sam is just sitting next to their dad, pouring him a drink.
Johros will, grin big upon getting punched.
A question for me it is. What brings you here?
I'm on my way to Lustra for training. We were passing through. And figured we'd stop in to see what all the... Then Johros will just punch him, in the nose as hard as he can.
Okay.
That's what was about.
Yes! Excellent! A glancing blow for you. What's your question?
Bit less fun, I'm afraid. Have you heard of a group called the Black Powder Bravos?
Yes, I have heard of them. And goes to swipe at you again, but misses.
Sam, is just gone pale when you mention Black Powder Bravos.
Johros doesn't notice because he's
And they're in a fight, yeah.
fighting a dwarf for some reason. If he misses, Johros is going to go in for the headbutt really quick.
Okay. Going in for the headbutt, it is a rough time for you. You get a pretty solid hit, and you hear a crunch before you look down and realize that it is your nose that made the crunch sound. And he's like, well, that looks like you're hurt. But
It did.
London Cragsunder is a man of his word, and that counts as a solid blow. Next question.
I'll give you one too. No worries. So you've heard of them. What sort of business do they get into?
Business? Well, the business of murder and theft.
Unscrupulous sorts, then. That's what I was worried about. Well, what's your question for me, dear
What
merchant?
brings you to ask about them? Not many believe the Black Powder Bravos exist, let alone think to ask a man of my stature and standing in society about them.
Well, you seem well informed, and unfortunately, I saw them before. And Johros will go in for just a shoulder charge against this dwarf.
And with your shoulder charge, you see him buckle down at the last second and grab your legs and flip you over top of him, to the point that you land just shy of the guards. And he's like, well, I believe we've earned our drinks. Do you think not?
I didn't have any other questions. So Johros will get up and dust himself off, adjust his holy symbol on his person.
He will clap you on the back and cast Prestidigitation to clean you up nice. He's like, come, you seem a good sort, and it seems your friends have found our spirits, so let's make an evening of it.
I like the way you think, dwarf. Oh, and the way you throw your weight around, or my weight around, as it were.
That was a pretty good headbutt there, Johros.
Oh, it was. I hope it was as good for him as it was for me.
Sam just looks at you
right,
curiously,
right.
like you said something super.
He'll shoot a wink. Johros knows what he's talking about.
He reaches up and wipes the blood off his forehead. He's like, oh, yeah, nobody ever told you. I have a head of steel.
What color do Tritons bleed?
Like, probably like a green blackish color.
Yeah.
Cool.
Ugh. Well, a hard head makes for a stubborn businessman.
Drives a hard bargain?
Yes, excellent. You know, I always have to be out here at the forefront of the business, really thinking with my head, if you know what I mean.
Sam thought that they knew what you meant, and now is doubting themselves.
How long have you been? Well, not to ask you another question.
No, questions all around. It seems well earned.
How long have you been in business for?
I have been in business for... And you watch as he, like, pulls his hand out and looks like he's thinking and staring at his fingers. And then it's a quick flash of 592 in, like, glowing numbers. Quite some time. I've learned to become quite the impressive merchant, salesman, and general dwarf. I am the epitome of my clan.
Where was the last place that you saw the Black Powder Bravos? Or heard of them?
Right to business, I see. Right to business. Last I saw them was in Axminster. Quite the distance from here, and over a group of seas, and I doubt they have access to quite the sailing vessels that I do. So fret not, young one.
Oh, sounds a ways from here.
Wait, I have a question then. Johros, why were you asking about the Black Powder Bravos?
Oh, one second. Well, he'll sort of like turn and look at Sam. A friend of mine was hurt by them. I was able to help them, my friend, but she said it wasn't time to go after them yet.
And where did you see them? Was it at Kilmarnock?
Yes, I believe right by the beaches as I was coming in. I believe it was them anyway, from what my friend told me. But they were all beaten up. They could have been a bit off for all I know.
So doesn't that mean they've made it to the main shoreline?
I suppose it would, yes.
But don't let them darken your evening.
No, they're not darkening my evening. I've followed them, I guess you could say. They've been a interest of mine for quite some time, and just...
You watch this look of horror cross your father's face. As he's like, Sam, we talked about this. Why would you seek them out?
You know what they've done.
I know, but you are a child. You are not
I'm
a child.
I'm not. I know that I'm your child, but I'm not a child anymore. And like, there has to be a certain point where I can make my own decisions. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't worry about me, and I'm not going to go off half-cocked, as it were. But they represent a threat to us.
You're right, but I'll think of that tomorrow. I don't want to think of you chasing them down right now. Promise you'll get training first.
Yes, Father.
Nothing like common interests to bring us together. Johros takes like a glug of his like ale. Didn't mean to strike a sore spot with you there, friends.
No, maybe for my father, but it's not for me. Like, I genuinely want to bring them to justice. I want to see them removed.
Well, that answers that question. He'll look at his holy symbol and then kind of put it back.
Is there a reason you hide your holy symbol?
Oh, that's a very good point. He'll take it out from under his shirt and just wear it. No, it was just recently given to me by that friend, Teska.
I understand that it can be difficult to show the world who you are, and you may face persecution for it, but I personally believe that it's good to be yourself in everything. And like Sam will kind of like halfway look over at their dad.
And Samuel nods. He's like, you should always, above anything, be yourself. And if someone can't see you for who you are, then it is their own loss.
To live in glory is to swim in the sun. And I just forgot to take it out from under my shirt, to be honest. Bit new at this.
I understand. I just got this new arm, and you saw the box earlier. I have some other new stuff in there too. I get that this is new beginnings, and Sam will like raise a glass for a toast.
To new beginnings then, and new friends as well.
Here's to me. Here's to you. The best of friends will always be. But if you should disagree, to hell with you, and here's to me. And just pound.
And Blumden starts laughing his ass off. He's like, that's wonderful. I'll have to remember that one for our next dealings.
Well, hopefully we see you before the next 592 years.
Perhaps we shall. And it was, you're my friend, or to hell with you, and yay
here's
for
to
me.
you. Here's to me. The best of friends will always be. But if you should disagree, to hell with you, and here's to me.
Yes, excellent.
Might need to.
It is
write
very
it down.
obvious that he did not at all take in what you said.
Oh, not to ask yet another question. You've been drinking for some time there, or?
Well, you see, I have been trying for several hours. In fact, this entire trip, you see, it is my custom to share a drink and a story with my guards at the end of each successful journey. And tomorrow, we reach our destination. But just look at these. I'm sure you are all lovely, but none of you have spoken a word. You haven't even made a grunt noise this entire bloody 3-week-long trip, and it is awful.
Could we perhaps share a story and a drink then?
That is my hope, little one. So might I offer a story? Years
I don't
ago,
see why not.
a great mage is rumored to have tampered with magic itself, bringing forth sentient beasts, and changing the very landscape of the world that we currently stand on. Goblins that became giants, trees that became sentient, and would you believe, raccoons that became humans. And he laughs.
Johros will also start like laughing incredibly loudly. He's seen them in Kilmarnock, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh, those little ones always make me so happy. Oh, they're little troublemakers, I will say.
Wait, you've seen them?
Oh yes, we have all sorts of beast folk and whatnot where I come from.
You certainly must be pulling my leg. I've traveled 592 years and never seen one.
You ever been to Kilmarnock?
Yes, I was just there, 2 years ago?
Well, they're definitely there, along with, let's see, we have the cat folk, we have the Triton, of course, but we're not fish people. Very different.
Yes, I apologize. I know you're not a Lokata, but...
No, they're very different. Not quite. Johros will like flick back his hair. Not quite as handsome, you see. Let's see, what else do we have? There's all sorts of. There are many sorts. Yes. The lion folk as well, the leonin.
Yes, I have not seen these little raccoon people that everyone speaks of.
They're lovely. Really.
Perhaps I am cursed to never meet one.
No. I'm sure you will. Someone as well traveled as you.
Sam just nodding along eagerly, like, yeah, you'll meet him one day.
You met us. You didn't think you would meet us.
You met a Triton.
Yes.
I have met several Tritons, but I did not think I would have someone to share an evening with.
Sam feels super shitty because this is the first Triton they've met.
Well, Johros doesn't know that, so... Oh, wait, well, he kind of does, yeah. Saw you acting weird around him.
And, Lumnan grabs another keg and pops it open and says, "Please, help yourself. Do you have a camp this evening?"
We actually just arrived. They mentioned the coffers were taken from. You haven't had any gold taken from you, have you?
No. There are several more of the unspoken within, and points to the grouping of trailers, and you can just see like helm slits with eyes looking out. It's not our first time here, and we've heard of what's he go by now?
Jingleheimer Schmidt.
Jingle. That is quite the name.
I don't. Well, I won't spoil the fun.
Last I was here, he was Tomas, but I swear, it never changes and never rests. Just thieves all the time. I'll not make that mistake again.
Well, you have quite the guard posting here. It reminded me of the Triton soldiers under the water. Johros will say in Elven to some of the unspoken again, like, "You seem like stern and fine warriors. I'm sure none shall escape your watch."
Dad, look at this highfalutin asshole. He speaks Elvish.
Being selfish how?
No, this is in Halfling.
Oh yeah, so Sam addresses you back. How is he being selfish, young one?
What? No, I didn't say selfish.
Oh, Elvish.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, what would a halfling have in their ears? Cheese or something?
Probably cheese or gunpowder.
Cheese and gunpowder.
Samuel's probably deaf from all the experiments he's done.
It happens.
Do the unspoken answer?
No.
Or no?
They don't even know.
Of course not.
The whole time, anything you say to them, they just stare at you.
Well, they do seem like a stern and lively bunch.
I don't. Does lively mean something else down and just still in halfling to dad? Like just.
Oh, he's back to common. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I'm talking to my dad in halfling. Just like
And Samuel responds in halfling. Maybe it just means alive to them. They are alive.
Johros will look to. I forget the dwarf. I didn't hear the dwarf's name
The
too
dwarf's
well.
name is Lumnan.
I'll turn to Lumnan and say, "Look at them speaking their mouse language."
Yes. Gotta be wary when halflings start speaking halfling.
the fuck you say? And Sam will stand the fuck up. And just,
Oh, looks like the little one wants to ask some questions too.
You have questions, little one.
yeah. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh my. Johros will start to back up a little bit.
That is a wonderful, wonderful question, and I don't know. It's just something my father always told me.
You know that bigotry is passed down by generations, right? And I'm literally just like trying to like grab at this man's collar to pull him down like
Grab his
extra 6
beard.
inches to fucking
You don't have to pull him that far. Like,
yeah, just like 6 inches. Yeah.
he's like, yes. Oh, all right. I'm very sorry. I meant
Do you think
no
I had
offense.
sticky fingers? Do you think I'm just gonna go steal your stuff?
No, I'm sure the unspoken would relieve you of your hands first.
I've already
Easy there,
lost
friend.
one.
I think you've had a bit too much whiskey.
And yeah, you watch as London looks at your arm and is just like, oh, fuck. Apologies, please. Stay in one of the caravans this evening. We have beds, we have all of the food and drink. Camp with us tonight. Break fast with us in the morning. I truly meant no offense.
And Sam will let go and just kind of sulk a little bit. Almost a pout.
Is it because you wanted to beat the shit out of this dwarf?
No. It's just the fact that like our reputation has been impugned. Like, the fuck you mean? Like, oh yeah, you gotta watch out when the halfling starts speaking halfling. The fuck you mean?
Well, thank you for the generous offer to stay at your camp, dear friend.
Yes, it's the least you could do.
It is. I again, quite sorry. Perhaps I can aid you more. Where is it you seek to travel to?
Lustra.
Oh, we're already in sync. That's good.
Perfect.
Johros and Sam just like look at each other.
Lustra is quite the place. Are you a fan of music?
Yes?
Of course.
Seek out Ariata the Lost. I'm certain that she'll be playing at the Hero's Respite, but it's quite the haunting performance. You'll not want to miss it.
Where are you heading to?
Here and there, but eventually I'm going to make my way towards Snowmelt.
Back the other way then.
Oh, that's where we came from.
Oh, wonderful. Can you tell me, is Dendrick still in business?
Yes, he's doing quite well. Actually, Dad, would you like to go back with him? I just don't know that I want to show up to my first day of school with my dad.
Yes, I suppose that is fair. And
I have Johros now. We'll be fine.
Samuel dead eyes Johros and is like,
What?
"You will take good care of her, yes?"
Them, you mean, right?
Them, yes. I'm sorry.
It's new for him. It's okay.
You're new to me too, little one.
I appreciate it though. Thank you for looking out for me.
Oh, well, I suppose I am already. He'll look at it, Johros will look at it as holy symbol. I give you my word as a paladin of Zalara, that Sam will be in my charge, and I shall protect them.
Very well. You're an adult now, and you get to make adult decisions. And he's kind of repeating it to himself, trying to nail it into his own head.
Johros thought you were talking to him for a second.
Sam will walk over and give him a small kiss on the cheek. It'll be all right. I promise. I will send word as soon as I can.
I would appreciate that greatly. I'm certain that there's someone there who can get a message along to us. So long as, Lumnan, are you up for company on your trips? He says, most certainly. Perhaps we can have a real conversation, and just kind of glares at the unspoken again.
Just don't ask too many questions.
Yes, I think I will refrain. I don't fight as much anymore.
You look stalwart, Samuel. Come on. Maybe you want to ask old Johros some questions.
You are able to easily pass the evening with a few questions as friends.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Calturnia. You can find us playing live every Monday over on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Join us next week as the adventure continues and more story unfolds.